Straight into your gumboots. Ah, I see. Hey guys, welcome to Wild Hope Homestead. The morning chorus is ringing out. There's everyone wants to lay an egg at once this morning. Okay, quieten down. There's a queue. How many of you are in the queue? There's an empty one, you can have that one. But I don't want that one, I want the other one. So the peach tree has got lots of blooms on it now, which is good. The apricot tree, which is generally uncooperative, it's got a few flowers on there, but I think it's really too warm here for it to set many flowers, but maybe we'll get something off it. That's right. Straight into your gumboots. Ah, I see. While it's not raining, we're actually going to pick some tangerines because we need some more inside. Thank you.
Making sure the chickens don't come out.
Guys, it's got too many weeds now. try and get some weeding done in the veggie gardens today, if the weather cooperates, because I've got things to get planted. So before I get weeding done, I actually need to deal with my tomato seedlings. Some of these have gotten rather leggy and they desperately need to be potted up into their own pots. So the Amish paste ones, those are the biggest. I should have got to these sooner, but it always seems to happen. There's always a lot to do at this time of year. So these really need to be done. Those ones are the longest though. Some of the others aren't too bad. The cherry tomatoes, unfortunately, the golden grape ones have come up, but the Gardener's Delight and Broad Ripple Yellow Currant haven't. The trays did get a bit soggy when I squirted down the porch with the hose, even though the propagator had its top on. Some water still got in and dripped on them, so that I think that kind of thwarted them a bit, but also the seeds may be getting a bit old, so I'll have to re-sow some of those. What else have we got? King's Gold, those have come up well. Brandywine Pink, maybe, I can't remember how many I planted. Half of those maybe, or half or less. Amish paste, yeah, they did really well. What have we got here? Albenga Oxheart, I've only got a few of those actually. It's a little bit greenish in there, so I think they got pretty soggy too, but they were also slower to germinate. So I need to go get these potted up before I can sow. I'm going to re-sow the cherry tomatoes that didn't come up, but before I do that I want to deal with these before they get any bigger. Hello. You're riding your bike. You might not be able to fit it in here. Mummy's just potting up the plant. Leave it on the grass. Just on the grass so Mummy can get out when I need to. Thanks. Not at the moment. Because Mummy's just working here. We get the baby tomatoes potted up into their own pots. See, these are the biggest ones. I need to see, have a look. Just looking. I'm going to put them all into their own pots so they can grow bigger.
What's the bit in the
That's a good question. This is potting mix. It's for them to give them some good food and things to grow in the pots. It helps them to grow bigger before we plant them in the garden. Helps them to grow big and be nice and healthy.
and then go stuck?
And then once they're big enough we can plant them in the garden. And then they get bigger and bigger and then they start growing tomatoes.
I want tomatoes.
I know, but they haven't got tomatoes yet. We have to wait. Yeah, that's Mummy's tunnel cover.
Because they want eat it the chicken.
Eat it with the chickens.
Yeah. Oh.
Where? So the pudding seed mix is a bit dry, but it's easy to get them out. When it's dry, whoops, there's a little one stuck in the corner. I like teaching my kids about plants because there are so many things that we can learn from plants and gardening, especially when you grow things from seed. I think one of the biggest things that you can learn is patience. Patience and hope. Because you start with this little tiny thing and you have to be patient and look after it and know what it needs and keep persevering with it as it gets bigger and goes through the different stages. If you're not patient with it and you're rough, or you try to make it do what you want to or put it where you want to before it's ready, then it's going to get damaged or die. But if you look after it well and wait, be patient and give it what it needs through each of the stages, and hope for the tasty fruits or veggies that are to come, then one day it will be this amazing plant that produces fruit or veggies, some kind of food for us to eat. Oh my goodness. Okay, I have never had that happen with a tomato before. It has actually got two stems. Well, it has actually got two stems off one seed. I thought they were stuck together, but it's a twin. Well, that'll be interesting. I could snip one off, or I could grow it as a double leader plant. Kind of curious to see what happens, although I should really just snip the smaller one off, but I'm curious to see what happens, so let's just leave that one. And there's one little small weak one, so I'm just going to throw that one out because we don't need him and he's not looking super great. To get these out a bit more carefully. There's no instant gratification with starting plants from seed. It's good for us to do things that make us develop patience, because that makes us appreciate the world around us so much more, and it makes us appreciate our food more, knowing what it takes and the effort that goes into it. When you just pluck something off a supermarket shelf, you don't get to develop that patience and that hope that comes through in growing them yourself. So I like to show my kids how it works, even when they're young, and then they get to see that process for themselves and hopefully develop some patience and hope through that along the way. All these tomato seeds were sowed on the 24th of August, and it's now the 7th of August, so it was exactly 2 weeks ago when I started the seeds. And some of them could have been potted up sooner. So I've got all my tomato seedlings into their individual pots, and I re-sowed some Gardener's Delight and Broad Ripple yellow currant cherry tomatoes, so hopefully they will be alright. I just went to the next newest packet of seeds just in case the others were too old. And I've also sown some lettuces, get some of those going.